Welcome to Adaverse again. My name is Gigi and I'm joined here today with my colleague Max.
Hi, everyone.
So today we have an interview with Marty, co-founder of Ergopad, a group that aims to bring the latest and most promising crypto projects to the Ergo ecosystem.
And once again, Ergo and Cardano communities. Without you guys, this would not be possible. So thank you for joining, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Marty, it's a pleasure to have you here today. Super stoked to learn about Ergopad.
Great to be here.
So first question, how would you describe Ergopad to somebody who has no idea about it?
I think if you're not familiar with Ergopad, you can think of it like an idea incubator. Where basically our intent is to bring investment or investors together and build projects on the Ergo blockchain and perhaps other blockchains in the future. So it's sort of like, I guess it's just an investment group in a sense. We take people's investments and put them together and choose projects that we think will help the Ergo ecosystem. So that's kind of our MO and how you could explain it.
And why have you chosen to build on Ergo specifically?
For me, I've been in crypto for quite a while, even before Ethereum was a thing. Bitcoin has kind of this philosophy, this strong decentralized philosophy built on proof of work. And when Ethereum came along, it was a great concept to add computation and dApps on top of Bitcoin, which was a huge innovation. But now as Ethereum has kind of matured, we see that it has some drawbacks, specifically like the gas fees are very high, things like that. So for me, I really like Ergo because it sticks to some of the philosophies initially presented by Bitcoin. It sticks to proof of work, where a lot of the newer chains are switching to proof of stake. I feel proof of work is a little bit more fair in the way it decentralizes the generation of new tokens. So Ergo for me is like an iteration on Ethereum where there won't be high gas fees. The technology is really advanced from a point of the accounting model of Ethereum. It sticks to the UTXO model of Bitcoin, and I think it has a bright future. I think it's a great iteration where some of the proof of stake coins are not as much of an iteration to me, in my mind. So that's why I chose Ergo.
So are there any projects that you have approached that have approached you to be listed on Ergopad?
At the moment, I've had a couple of people kind of hit me up in direct message, but I've only just activated the application form yesterday on the website. We are building, I mean, we're not, yeah, it's all really early days still. We're still generating some funding and that kind of thing, but it's one of those things where I'm not going to sit and wait for people to come to me as well. We're going to leverage some of the funding we get. We're going to put together our own teams. I've got a bit of a list of projects I'd like to see around the Ergo ecosystem. So we'll work to have things available, regardless of if people approach me or not. So
That's awesome to hear. So if I was interested in working with Ergopad to launch my project, what is the process of going about that? And is there a vetting process? Like, how does that work?
We do, yeah. So we have an application form now on the website. You can find a link in the footer. And we basically ask, what's your team composed of? What have you already built? What is your projected expectation for how much funding you need to get it to the minimum kind of deliverable that you anticipate you'll want? Things like that. I mean, what does the project do? How does it serve the community? And sort of the way we've designed Ergopad is that it's based on token launches. So typically a project would have to be able to leverage a token in some way. But we can find creative solutions. I mean, it really depends what the project is. So basically apply, give us as much detail as you can, let us know where you're at. You can also talk to me on Telegram or Discord, direct message me there. So whatever works, but we're open to talk to people and start where they're at and go from there.
That's great. So how does Ergopad, the Ergopad token work?
So the token itself, we're going to create that quite soon here. And for investors, what will happen is if you invest before the IDO, you'll receive that token in various vesting periods. So you'll send Erg to a script that Leaf is building, and that will lock your Ergopad tokens in vesting boxes, and you'll be able to withdraw those after the monthly periods that they unlock. Once you have your Ergopad tokens, oh, I should mention, you can also get them on the DEX. Once we do the IDO, you'll be able to get them directly from the DEX. You won't have to buy them from any scripts, so you'll be able to access them directly, immediately. Once you have them, you can stake them. And so that'll give you staking rewards. We've got about, I think it's approximately 3-year emission schedule for Ergopad tokens. I want to try and keep it around 90% APR, but we'll see how that works out based on how many people stake. So you do get rewards no matter how much you stake. And if you do meet some of the staking tiers, which we have set in the documentation, you'll have access to pre-sales for the new IDOs we launch on the project. So if somebody was to launch, let's say, just as an example, if you wanted to invest in one of the NFT games we launch, you can stake in the staking tiers and we'll reserve some early price tokens for you. So that's one thing you can do with those.
So there's some community benefits to it too.
Yeah, well, you do get the immediate rewards of the staking, which is just more Ergopad tokens. And then you also have an opportunity to invest in some IDOs. So those details are in the docs as well. If you guys have any questions about that, I know there's a bit of confusion because the staking tiers start at a certain level, but you don't need to meet those tier levels to get your staking rewards.
Okay, that's great. That's good to know.
Cool. So you mentioned NFT games. Is there anything on that you can kind of preview, or is that?
I wish we do have some things happening in the background, but we don't have anything yet to share with the community. As soon as I can, I definitely will. We have a team building one game. It's like a side-scrolling space game, sort of with the Ergonaut theme. So we're working on that. I want to release stuff as soon as possible, but we'll get to that. So that's just around the corner.
Cool. How do you guys hope to affect the Ergo community as a whole coming up over the next few years?
I really, because of how much I mentioned before that I find Ergo is kind of the next iteration on blockchain, I think it deserves to have a much higher market cap than it has at the moment. There's so much strong technology behind it. So I think what's holding it back is just the lack of software. You know, you go on Solana and there's so much being developed. Even with Cardano, there's just so much in the pipeline, and Ergo's just kind of been flying under the radar. So my main goal with Ergopad is just to really build all the fintech apps and the DeFi stuff that we expect from blockchain, modern blockchain. Just everything we need, the games, there's the fun side of it, and there's the technology side of it. So we just want to build everything that users need to really start using Ergo and bringing up that market cap. So that's our goal.
So that's kind of where you see Ergopad in 5 years from now, or like in the long run, you see it as like a force for kind of like creating a bigger community for Ergo.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to build software. Web3 is right on the horizon. Everyone's talking about metaverse. I think, companies like Facebook are really going to begin to look dated as we build new projects on Web3. So we want to bring that to Ergo because, you know, it's just, there's so many opportunities there. I don't know where we're going to be in 5 years, but we'll definitely do our best to stay relevant and bring the blockchain into the future. I think it's the future for sure. So see where we get.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Definitely, yeah.
So can you give us any details on your team and like what that looks like and how are you guys?
Yeah, so definitely. So myself, I'm sort of a serial entrepreneur. I don't have as much blockchain experience, but I really always stuck with nascent and disruptive industries. I've got a lot of experience in the cannabis industry in Canada, which went from, you know, black market to gray market decriminalization to now full legalization. So I've worked with a ton of startups in the cannabis industry, built some interesting things. I've got a bit of an engineering background, so I've worked with some projects to build like CO2 extraction and chemical analysis to make sure all the products are clean. So sort of my experience is more in a different industry, but it definitely applies, you know, managing people. The cannabis industry had so many startups with people who didn't have experience in sort of the business world. So we'd hire employees and bring people on and that kind of thing. So I think that management aspect and that startup and entrepreneur experience will really benefit us in the blockchain space as it grows. And then the CTO, Leaf Erickson, he's got a lot of experience with machine learning and AI. He's done a lot of database management, and you know, he's got a ton of experience. We'll fill you guys in too on the website. We'll give more details. But yeah, he's been doing this for a few decades now, the kind of technology side of things. And then we have Vince, who's doing our marketing. He's got a lot of experience with marketing, I think a few decades as well. He worked with Ada Finance as they did their fundraising rounds. And some other big companies. I'm sure he'll share more details, but we've got a great team and we've got more people coming on. We're speaking with some devs from the Ergo Discord there, the Ergo community. So we've got people coming on and I'll be building the team as we go. So more to come. We'll release more details this weekend as well. So.
And is your project going to be open source?
100% open source. You can see what we've done so far on our GitHub. The link is on our website at the footer there, but it's all going to be released. All the smart contracts are going to be open source. And we're actually working closely with the Ergo Foundation to have those audited so that they're safe for everyone. So definitely, yeah, we love the open source concept in theory. So
Great.
Sweet. Yeah, are you building all this code from scratch? Is this all your team's work here?
Some of it is, and some of it we're using, you know, things that other people have built. So a lot of it's from scratch, but things like the assembler service that's behind the Ergo auction house, made by Anon Real and his team. We're using that for now until dApp connectors become more evolved. Yoroi is still in beta and things like that. So for now, yeah, we'll definitely leverage other people's code where we can, where we need to, and build from scratch when we need to. So it's a bit of both, and we appreciate the open source nature, and you know, everyone kind of helps one another in this community. It's really great.
Yeah. So you touched upon a little bit upon this, but what would your ideal client look like in terms of like what your ideal client would be building that you would want to support?
You're referring to people building projects on Ergopad?
Yeah, exactly.
I think the best client would be somebody who's got a good idea and they've already started working on it. They've got a bit of a team, and maybe, you know, it's best when you have a strong leadership behind the team. They don't have to be able to have all the skills. Like, let's say a team comes along and they have great marketing, they've got some experience in blockchain, you know, they've got a bit of a following. They just need like a dev to really get the Ergo script working, you know, something like that. Or maybe vice versa. They've got some devs they've started building, but they don't have a strong marketing team behind them. Something where they need us to either bring funding, bring expertise, help them build. Somebody who's already done a little bit and just needs some help to get to the next step. That's the perfect client, I think.
So it's very accessible for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to talk to everyone at every stage. We're really easy to find on Discord and Telegram. Just hit us up and we'll assess based on a case-by-case basis for sure.
Awesome. So Marty, before we finish off, is there anything you'd like the community to know about Ergopad and what's coming up for you guys?
There's a lot around the corner, but it's hard to share anything right now because it's all quite early. I do want to say we really appreciate the community that's developing around our project. The people on Telegram are a lot of fun. I mean, even just with any Ergo project, you get great community. So, we've got a lot of people showing support. We've got people even building little graphics for us. Somebody took our logo and added some snow and some music and things like that. We just love that stuff. So, but we do want the community to know we are going to have some contests, some NFT drops coming up. We're working with Fo, who made Ergnomes, and we'll be working with some other people to release some NFTs for you guys. So we got a lot on the horizon. We're going to release details as we get them. Please stay tuned and get in Telegram and chat with us.
So exciting, everything you're saying.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming to our show. It was a pleasure having you.
And mine too.
Yeah, can't wait to see what Ergopad has coming up in the future. I think the future is very bright.
Yeah.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.